everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Pierce, and I'm one of the travel agents with Marvelous Mouse Travels. We are the agency that runs this Facebook group, along with several others that are focused on different destinations. We are also an earmarked platinum authorized Disney vacation planner, and that just means that we are recognized by Disney as providing exceptional customer service to our clients. And we are also trained by them, often on site, to be experts in their vacation products. Welcome to Sundays with MMT. This is a weekly live agent panel video series that we do in one of our Facebook groups every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we are really excited to be here with you in our Disney World group tonight to talk about Genie Plus and some updates that have recently come to the Genie Plus system. So we have a lot of information that we're going to share with you, but we also would love to take any questions that you have about Genie Plus or individual lightning lanes or Disney Genie or Disney World in general. So feel free at any point during this time together to go ahead and drop any questions you may have in the comment section, and we'll be happy to get to those. We are using StreamYard to go live this evening, so if you are commenting on Facebook, it may ask you to approve it to display your username and profile picture. Just know that you can decline that permission and you can still post and interact with us anonymously. So I'm joined tonight by my dear friend and Marvelous Mouse Travels first and currently only Diamond Planner, Jennifer Self. So Jen, thanks so much for being with us tonight, and tell everybody how long you've been with the agency and the best way for people to get in touch with you if they want to plan a trip.
So I have been with the agency since 2017. And like she said, I'm the first Diamond Planner, which is super exciting. And if you would like to reach out, my email is jennifer.self@marvelousmousetravels.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Jennifer Self Marvelous Mouse Travels.
And again, my name is Ginger, and I'm a master planner with the agency. I've been with MMT for just over 4.5 years. And the best way to reach out to me is to visit my blog, which you can find at gingermmt.com. So I think Jen and I were kind of chatting about this before we got started, and I figured it would probably be a good idea for us to just kind of do a broad brush overview real quickly of what's the difference between Genie Plus, Genie, and individual lightning lanes. So Jen, if you were trying to give, like, Jen is a wordsmith. She's always really good at kind of, coming up with really good ways to communicate information. So if you were trying to come up with like a quick blurb of how to differentiate this for people, what would you say?
So Genie and Genie Plus, lightning lane, and then individual lightning lane, 4 different things. And the names are all so close and overlapping that it confuses us sometimes, and we have to clarify. So just talking about Genie is a program through the My Disney Experience app that helps you with just general kind of planning through your day. It will give you suggestions on maybe what rides to ride in which order, just to maximize your experience. That's free. It's no charge. I personally don't use it because I've been to Disney enough times that I don't need it, but it might be a great resource maybe for someone who hasn't been to Disney before, just to kind of get an idea of what ride wait times might look like and how to really maximize, getting the most out of your day. So putting that aside, then we have a paid service, which is Genie Plus. Genie Plus, it is, it's the price varies based on the day. So if you're getting to the holidays or, there's more peak interest times, the rate's going to be a little higher. I do believe that it starts at $15 a day per person. Is that right, Ginger?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. And you purchase that in the morning before you start your day. There have been some packages that we have booked in the past where they let us bundle that in, but they stopped doing that a few months ago. So some of you that watching this may already have a package that you have that included, and just know that you won't have to buy it again. But if you are getting ready to book, or you booked after that date, then that was something that you have to buy each morning of your park day. So you get up early, you purchase that. And with the Genie Plus, what it's giving you is the ability to book lightning lane passes. Now, if you've been to Disney, in the past, I don't know how many years, they have Fast Pass, right? So Fast Pass, rebranded, renamed, changed how it works. Now it's called a lightning lane. Lightning lanes they're also done a little differently. You can't pre-plan those before like you could with, fast passes. You could do those 30 days or 60 days in advance. It was set, ready to go. This is something that you start the morning of your park day. So you get up, you purchase that Genie Plus, you go in, and you get to go ahead and book your first lightning lane. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky. Each park has one lightning lane that's not included into Genie Plus. So
usually the most popular ride in that park.
typically the most popular, not necessarily my favorite,
Right.
but it is a very popular ride. So that one is a separate purchase. Now, you don't have to have Genie Plus to purchase the individual a la carte Lightning Lane one ride.
Mhm.
And you can do one or the other or both. But know that if you want to ride that one ride, and I believe that like in Magic Kingdom, it's Seven Dwarf Mine Train, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then in Epcot, I think is it Ratatouille?
No, it's actually Cosmic Rewind. It's the Guardians now.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
there you go. It was Ratatouille.
It was Ratatouille. Yep.
And then Hollywood Studios, I think it's Runaway, Mickey's Runaway Railroad,
So
right?
let's see. Hollywood Studios is Rise of the Resistance.
Oh my gosh,
Actually.
I'm totally off. Because see what they did, they used to have two, and then
Yes.
they got rid of one. So I'm telling you the wrong one. Okay. Then Animal Kingdom it's got to be Flight of Passage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to ride that one ride, you can go standby. You can go run there first thing in the morning, a rope drop, and get in there. You can go anytime during the day and stand in a normal line. But if you want to get a fast pass or a lightning lane, then you would buy that individual lightning lane for that. And the cost on that also varies by, how busy the park is and whatnot.
Yeah.
So taking the Genie out of the picture because that's the free service that everybody gets and you could use it or you could not.
Mhm.
I think today we're focusing more on the Genie Plus
Right.
and the lightning lanes work and then some of those changes that because it keeps changing as they're trying to figure out what people like and what people don't like and what works and what doesn't. I mean, like I said, I obviously hadn't picked up on the fact that the ride had changed. So now I know.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing too that is different is that you used to be able to plan in advance.
Mhm.
Those fast passes, like Jen said, you used to be able to book those a month or more in advance, and now you can't. So there is a little bit more spontaneity, and things are, I think, changing even more rapidly than they did back when fast pass was in play because you're making these decisions day of. And so, I think that that's really one example of why working with a travel professional is so valuable because, yes, we're not going to be in the parks next to you saying, book this available lightning lane right now. But we can give you a strategy for, like, hey, these are the rides that you want to try to book first. These are the ones that you want to try to rope drop, to get the most out of your park day, or this is how you utilize the system, this is how the system works, so that you're educated and prepared to go in and use that app
Mhm.
and to be able to use those tools that are at your disposal. So it is constantly changing, and we are trying to keep up with those updates as much as anybody. But
Yep.
I actually, like, I was thinking about it today. I need to go in and I need to update my travel packets now that
Mhm.
this information has changed. So let's talk a little bit about those changes to Genie Plus. Now, Jen already alluded to one of them. It used to be that Genie Plus was a fixed cost. It was always $15 per person per day plus tax. Now that is the starting cost of Genie Plus, but it is just like tickets are date based and price based on demand. The same thing is now true of Genie Plus. So you're not going to know in advance how much Genie Plus for any given day is going to be. Like, I'm actually going to be in the parks this weekend. I don't know what the Genie Plus rate for me on Saturday is going to be. I'll find out Saturday morning when I open up the app. So I mean, I think a safe range is probably somewhere between $15 to $25. Not to say that it couldn't be, somewhere in the middle or maybe even over that at certain times of year, but that's probably a safe range is somewhere around $15 to $25 per person plus tax per day. And I mean, speaking for myself, I personally have used Genie Plus a lot of times. I like Genie Plus. I do think that on those busier times it really is worth that extra price just to be able
Oh,
to do
absolutely.
more stuff in the park. So,
Yeah.
it's not a flawless system, but it's definitely better, I think, than some of the alternatives that are out there. Other places as well, and definitely maybe a better option, especially on certain rides, than getting in the standby line, which certain rides standby lines can get quite busy pretty quickly. So that's
Yes,
that's the
absolutely.
first change. What are some of the other changes, Jen?
So in addition to that, the next change, and see, now I'm just going blank here, was that, oh, so for your lightning lanes that you're booking, used to be that you could, if you were park hopping. So in the morning, you used to be able to go ahead and book lightning lanes for later in the afternoon. Well, going back to kind of how this whole Genie Plus works, um, when you book that first lightning lane, you're booking, they're giving you slots starting in the morning. And then as that time fills up, then they open the next slot. And then as that slot fills up, they open the next slot. So it's not like you can go in at 7 in the morning and say, oh, at 6 p.m., I want to ride Peter Pan. You have to wait for 9 a.m. to fill up, 10 a.m., 11, 12, all the way to fill up till you get there. So it
Mhm,
used to be that there was kind of a loophole for for park hoppers.
mhm,
And that meant that at 7 o'clock, if I knew, I'm starting my day in Magic Kingdom, but I'm going to end my day in Epcot, I'm going to go ahead and, book a lightning lane for like 3 o'clock
mhm,
for, whatever mission space. Okay. You used to be able to do that. Now, if I want to book a lightning lane, for my Epcot afternoon, I'm going to have to wait till that 9 o'clock slot fills up 10, 11, 12, 1, and then book that slot in the afternoon once it comes available to everyone.
everybody. Yeah. And that's, honestly, it's probably a good thing that they filled that loophole in for people who don't have park coppers,
Yeah.
because it keeps park coppers from being able to kind of get up in front of people who maybe have
Yes.
tickets or something like that. So that's probably a change that the average guest probably wouldn't have even noticed that was a change that was
Right.
made. But like a lot of the changes that they're making, I think that that's probably a good one, and it was a good thing
Yes.
to change that.
Absolutely. It just makes it fair for everybody. So we're all getting the same options and opportunities, no matter if you're park hopping or not. So
Right.
to me, I was like, when it first came out and it said that it was a change, I was like, well, why was it the other way before? Like, it just didn't make sense to let people kind of jump ahead of the line, So I think that was
Exactly.
a good change.
100%. And I'll also think another good
Yeah.
change is this last one that we're going to talk about, which is that now you can edit your Genie Plus
Oh,
return time.
yes.
So, like, it used to be that if I booked a return time for 1:15 to 2:15, I couldn't change it without canceling it. So if, something came up and my dining reservation was running late or something and I'm not going to make it there in time, then I would have to cancel what I had and try to completely
Mhm.
rebook it for a different time slot.
Start over.
Whereas now
Mhm.
you can keep it and try to modify it, so that if you're not able to modify it, it's not like you're losing the reservation
Right.
that you already have. So that is a fantastic change. Now that is only for the Genie Plus return times. It is not for the individual lightning lanes. So once you purchase those individual lightning lanes, and you do get to select the time for those, you are like, I mean, you can scroll to the afternoon, for example. If you're in the morning, you can book that, for later in the day, the time that works with your schedule. But once you book that, when you pay for it, it is what it is. You can't
Yes.
modify those. But I love the idea of being able to modify those return times for Genie Plus now. I think that's going to make the system a whole lot easier to use.
It also is supposed to be where, like if Ginger and I, we're going with our families all together and then, we book a lightning lane for, Peter Pan. And
Mhm,
then Ginger's like, my family doesn't really want to ride Peter Pan. Before we'd have to cancel everybody
mhm.
and then go back in and rebook each
Yeah,
family. Now we can just go in and modify who wants to change theirs. So you can do change individual people in your group.
yeah, that's a whole lot easier than
Yes.
cancel everybody's.
So
I'm sure
10
there
more
were,
flexibility.
yeah, probably many arguments in the parks over that. Like little Johnny doesn't want to ride, so now everybody
Yes.
has to cancel.
Yeah.
Nobody wants.
Right.
Well, that's the a quick overview of the changes, a quick overview of the system. Hopefully, you find that helpful. I know every agent that is a colleague of mine in this agency gives tips to their clients in their travel packet about how to use Genie Plus, how to prioritize particular return times or particular attractions and
Mhm.
things like that. So, if you just are completely overwhelmed with the idea of trying to understand this system, definitely reach out to one of our agents. Our expertise and planning advice is free if you book through us, and it doesn't cost any more to book through us than it does to book directly on Disney's website. So let somebody who has a little bit more experience with the system kind of walk you through how to use it versus trying to
Absolutely.
dive into the deep end on your own. So I don't see any questions or comments that have come through at this point, but just know if you happen across this video later and it's no longer live, it's not too late to ask a question. You can still pop those comments down there, and we do monitor these for comments after the fact. So we are happy to come back and answer those at a later time. But for right now, thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you have a really great night, and we hope to see you really soon for another episode of Sundays with M&T. Bye, everybody.
Bye.